Ladies and gentlemen, this is Inside on Business. My name is Michael Libbie. It's all powered by our advertising agency, Inside Advertising, Marketing and Communications. See how we did that there? We Inside on Business and just kind of what we do. Welcome aboard. Something's going on in the state of Iowa over the past several years that critics are calling corporate welfare, yet the Branstad administration here calls smart ideas to bring new jobs into the state. Here's the backstory. Recently, and in a number of areas, the Iowa Economic Development Authority has granted multi-million-dollar tax breaks to already wildly successful companies. Millions for Facebook, Microsoft, Google, Egyptian fertilizer plants, and the list goes on and on. The rationale is that these companies will produce jobs here in Iowa, but the question is, and we don't do politics on this show, but the question is at what price? The most recent example is a $20 million tax break given to who? Microsoft, to build Project Mountain, a huge data collection services area in West Des Moines. Now, that's $20 million to create something like 30 jobs. Now, the Branstad administration, the Iowa Economic Development Authority, says, hey, look, that's discounting the opportunity that we're going to have contractors from all over Iowa bidding on this project to manufacture or build these large data centers. So what is it that we're doing? Is this really corporate welfare, or is this smart thinking? And when you figure 30 jobs at $20 million, that's a chunk of change. Meanwhile, in the city of West Des Moines, unlike in the city of Altoona, directly to the eastern part of Des Moines, where they gave Facebook 20 years tax abatement for their new facility, West Des Moines isn't budging. They say, you know, we're just not like some of our friends in Altoona. We're going to go ahead and not give a 20-year city tax exemption, but it's going to be something I believe is more like 5 years. Remember, of course, Altoona does have a casino and a racetrack, so that may have had something to do with it. It's an interesting look at how we compete with each other for economic development dollars. And you can only ask yourself, what's the right thing to do? Is the right thing to give tons of money to already successful businesses so that they might be enticed to come to Iowa, or is small business really losing out on this? Go ahead, try to get some assistance if you're a small business owner. And that dovetails into our next story. The Iowa Economic Development Authority recently awarded a $50,000 contract to a Cedar Rapids business. Why? Well, 2 years ago, American Express released a study saying that Iowa ranked dead last, with regard to support of women-owned businesses. This despite the fact that there's a law here in this state, passed by the legislature, that says there is a necessary reason to support minority and women-owned businesses. Last week, the Iowa Economic Development Authority awarded $50,000 to Ascent, an Iowa nonprofit group based in Cedar Rapids, owned, interestingly enough, by a woman. So there's two great things that the Iowa Department of Economic Development did. They actually hired an Iowa company, and an Iowa company that happens to be run by a woman. But $50,000, really? The nonprofit group says that they're going to be attempting to raise other funds so that they can help identify issues that are barriers to women-owned businesses in the state of Iowa. From their news release, it says, the Ascent Group focuses on creating an environment that will better support the viability of Iowa women-owned businesses in its effort to identify Iowa's women-owned businesses and uncover barriers that they are facing. Might we suggest to the authority and to Ascent that they might start with the Iowa legislature, which already has in place a rule that they're supposed to spend X amount of dollars with who? Minority and women-owned businesses. But many times the state of Iowa chooses to ignore that rule. Meanwhile, and I think this is really telling, Elizabeth Gaffani is the editor and founder of Champion Boards, posted an interesting story about this issue and how golf and women-owned businesses have something in common. Listen to this. I'm going to read it to you verbatim because I thought it was absolutely stunning. She writes, researchers seem focused almost to an extreme on whether the chief explanatory reason behind men's success in business compared to women is or is not about golf. It's not just golf, it's all the things that it takes to play golf, she writes. Take a look. Where do men spend money in order to play golf? Men buy books and magazines that inform them how to have a better swing in order to perform better on the green. Women buy magazines in order to buy clothes that make them look good on the course. This is written by a woman. Women may pay a coach, but only a few ambitious women focus on their putt as opposed to his putt. Men even wager among themselves in competition to incentivize themselves. How many women do you know who would actually put cold, hard cash on herself to win? This is written by Elizabeth Gaffarni, founder of Champion Boards. She goes on, men develop wide and diverse networks of partners from among their professional colleagues. These are men whom they enjoy sharing time with, and they talk about business interests, and they talk about things that they have in common in the business world. Women talk about clothes, shoes, babies, children, and all the indignities of life. When was the last time you heard a great joke from a woman? She may have a friend or two, but does she build a network of friends with similar business interests? Would she be able to call up a friend and invite her to play a round of 9 this coming weekend, or would she have to schedule an appointment 4 weeks out with a high probability that the friend would cancel at the last minute because she had a family crisis? Men talk about business and ideas and opportunities on the golf course. Have you ever overheard conversations among women? Are the topics opportunities, ideas, or are the topics negative kvetching about something or another? Misery sharing. Women don't have to wait to be included in men's networks. What they need to do, however, she writes, is build better, more collaborative and supportive networks among women, whether in sport, organizations, or in business. And she concludes, it's not just golf. It is about how women work together to build great teams that in turn make up effective and powerful networks. Women in business. Iowa ranks last. The Iowa Economic Development Authority has granted a $50,000 contract to Cedar Rapids business Ascent to help them figure out why. When we come back, we're going to be talking about evolve or die. What is your business so much like a sailmaker from Gloucester, Massachusetts? You want to know? Come on back. This is Inside on Business, the News Hour. My name is Michael Libbie. It's powered by our advertising agency, Inside Advertising, Marketing, and Communications, seen live here each and every Monday at 8:45 on Webcast One Live, and brought to us by our friends at FWRSA. FWRSA, tax and accounting professionals will work hard for your business until the cows come home. We'll be back with more right after this.